Hey, this is John. In this video I'm going to show you how I clean my Smith and Wesson 686P. I'm not going to give you the complete lowdown on how to find detail your revolver. What I'm just going to show is how I take it apart and how I basically get the lead out and get all the rough dirt off. There's lots of other videos out there you can watch on how you can polish this thing up. It'd be real nice, but I hope to do this in less than 10 minutes. Some of the things that I do use to get lead out, I use Chore Boy copper pot scrubber. I cut it up in little pieces and use it on a brush. I've also used Remington bore cleaner to get lead out. It's very abrasive, very gritty. If you get it in your ejector rod in that area in the revolver, it tends to be a real bitch. You got to take it all apart. I've used this before, lead remover. It seems to work. I mean, okay, if you don't want to use an abrasive, you want to use a chemical instead, it's okay. And then of course I use the hoppies and all that kind of stuff. So okay, to get started, obviously take your gun. It's fully unloaded, of course. And then what I do is, I don't normally take it all apart like this, but since it's so dirty and I'm making a video, I'm going to show you how I do take it apart when I really want to get it good and clean. So on this side of the gun, you see this screw here. That is so you can undo the crane. So you can remove the crane. So what you want to do is you want to undo the screw. Now don't lose this screw, whatever you do, because it's not a standard screw. You'd have to get another one from Smith and Wesson. So take that screw out, put it in a very safe place, keep it. As you can see, they actually got some Loctite on it. Okay, so that screw goes there. Now the crane will just come out now. The whole cylinder will come off. So, and this can just come off and lifts out just like that. So now the gun can easily be cleaned. You can use abrasives now inside this barrel without having to worry about because if the abrasive gets in around here, it's all got to come apart anyways. So now you can clean the crane, and this guy here can come apart and be cleaned if you want. So you really don't have to take this one apart. If you wanted to take this one apart, what you would do is you would put something like some empty casings in like that on opposite sides. You could take your clothespin, put your clothespin on like that, and then you would want to have like a pair of pliers or something. What I would normally do, I would pinch this in a bench vise, and then I would just turn the cylinder with your hand. This is counterclockwise on so normally you would turn counterclockwise to loosen. Now you would turn clockwise to loosen. So what you would do here now is you would put your wrench on that, and then you would pinch it, and you would turn the cylinder to loosen it, just like that. That's all it was to it. Now you want to make sure this is good and tight when you put it back together. So you would just spin this guy now. And as you spin it, again, I'm spinning it clockwise, and as you can see, I'm spinning it clockwise, and clockwise is loosening it. And so this guy would come apart now. So these two things can come out, and now this guy, that comes off. This comes out like this. There's a spring here, and then this guy can come off, and all of this can come apart. That can come out, and this guy can come off. No, you can dip that in solvent or do whatever you want with it to clean it, but it's all taken apart here now, and we can put abrasive, solvent, whatever you want on this. But as you can see, it's very easy now to clean with it all taken apart like that. And if you were to look inside each chamber here, you're going to see there's a lot of crud and crap. And so what you would want to do is get your Chore Boy, put on some kind of, I've got something like this, or you could use a steel brush or something, and then you would put that around, like this. So this is Chore Boy now, and then you could run that in through your cylinder. And what this would do is that will get out a lot of the crud and lead that you have in there, and that would make it a lot easier when you go to clean this thing with solvent. Another thing you could do is cleaning the barrel. You would do the same with the barrel. So you could put your brush on, and then you could take your little piece of chore boy and wrap that around the brush. And now what you could do is just run that down through the barrel. I don't really advise you to go down through the muzzle end like this, but that's the only way you can get at it with the revolver. But just be careful you don't mar up the front around the muzzle. And you want to go down and come back. And you could do that a few times, and that'll get out a lot of the lead. Also, a good idea is to wrap a cloth around this area, and that would help protect that if you go back all the way and you strike it with your another way to do it, if you're really anal about putting your brush down through the muzzle, is to go in from the breech. And what you could do is you take your brush with your chore boy wrapped around it, and you could feed that into the breech like that, and it would be started down the breech, and then you would take your rod, you'd run your rod down, and then you'd find where it connects on, you'd screw it in, and then once it's screwed on, then you would pull it through, and you'd pull it through, and if you're lucky you'd get it out the other end, and you could feed that back and forth a few times, but that would get out a lot of the lead. And you want to go back a few times. That's that. And what I find to clean this, you can take your solvent and all that shit, and you really try to clean all the black off that front of the cylinder, and you just can't get it off. What I do use, I use this stuff. This is a lead remover cloth. If you wipe lead remover cloth over the cylinder face around right there, all that black will come off, and that cylinder will look brand new again. So actually go over the gun with this one when you've got it all cleaned, and that will polish it up real nice, and it'll be real nice and shiny stainless steel again. And that's it. So I just spent 4 hours cleaning this thing. Fortunately, you didn't have to do all the work. I did. But what I would suggest is when you've got the whole thing cleaned, and your barrel and stuff is cleaned, take your lead remover cloth and cut little patches out of it, and then stick that on your bore brush, and then run that through your barrel, and also run it through the chambers of your cylinder, and that'll get out a lot of the lead that you thought you did get out. And as you can see, this is very nice and shiny now, and it's not black. That's all because of this lead remover cloth. And check the link below in the description section for an awesome link to a video by Fred Hart, the Gun Geek channel, on cleaning a gun just like this. He does a very good job, so check that out.